My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
Hey, what's up everyone, it's Ty here, and today I'm playing a game. As you can see, I am not in my normal setup, and that is because I'm at my computer. Not that this needs to be anywhere specific, but I'm playing on my laptop. And anyone who knows me knows that I am absolutely obsessed with Gravity Falls. I have been since it came out, hence the Dipper outfit. Although the show is over, that doesn't mean that everything about it is over. They come out with new stuff about Gravity Falls all the time. They're actually coming out with a comic series called Lost Legends pretty soon, and there's a ton of fan-made stuff. And one of those fan-made things is this dating simulator game that is basically, you have to pick whether you want to date Grunkle Stan or Grunkle Ford. Yes, I'm a child. Anyway, I thought it would be really fun and interesting to play the game. I don't know how far I'll get or if I'll do more of these or just this one, but I don't know how long the game is, so I guess we'll see. But I'm really intrigued by it, and I know that I'm not like a gaming channel and I don't usually do stuff like this, but I can do what I want. It's my own channel, so I figured I would play a Gravity Falls game. Alright, I think we're good. So I'm going to click start. Ooh, music. That's another thing, this game does have, like, Gravity Falls voices. I cannot do voices at all, so I'm just gonna, like, talk and do my whatever voice I can do. They're probably not gonna be very good, because I'm not, like, an impression person, but I'll do my best. Good old road trips, full of promise and ripe with potential for adventure, soul-searching, and incredible scenery. Or at least, that's what you thought before the novelty wore thin. As of now, your legs are cramping up, you've exhausted your travel playlist 2 times over, and your stomach is begging for something to eat. On top of all that, you're pretty sure you're lost. Driving through Oregon paints a picture of trees, and more trees, especially on the endless winding roads that you're taking up north. All that breaks the pattern is a sign that zips past with words you're just able to make out. Gravity Falls. The road continues on, giant redwoods looming on both sides. You find yourself anticipating something, because as you drive on, you can feel it. Something strange is bound to happen here. Something weird. And that's when it happens. Your car picks up speed. The change came out of nowhere, and quickly you put your foot on the brakes, but horrifyingly, the car seems to be driving on its own willpower. Trying to stay calm despite the panic welling in your chest, you pull the emergency brake, only to find that the car resists and keeps moving forward, like something is pulling it. The car begins to rattle, the wheels screech against the country road, and you're screaming until... crash! Ooh. Oh, the gift shop! That's so cute. There's smoke. Why is there smoke? You cough, fumble for the door, and manage to undo the lock just before the door is wrenched outward from your grasp. Something lands on your shoulder. A hand. Ooh. Ooh, question voice. Are you alright? Oh, it's Ford! Okay, I cannot do a Ford voice. He's, like, it's too low, but I'm just gonna... I'll do my best. A man stands at your open car door. His hand on your shoulder leaves to tilt your head up, and he pulls a flashlight from his coat, shining it in your eyes. Bill Cipher. 2 blinks and he lets your chin go. His eyes dart over the rest of you, looking for injuries. Still stunned, all you do is watch. What's your name? That's so bad. I can't do a Ford. I'm sorry. Oh, I get to type into my name. Regular person. Yeah, that's my name. I guess we'll just go with Ty, because that is my name. And your pronoun. It has they, them pronouns. Y'all, this game is inclusive. Heck yes, they, them. Okay. Ty, I'm Stanford Pines. Ford for short. I would shake your hand, but you look shaken up enough as it is. The voice. You seem fine as far as I can tell, but you shouldn't head back out there anytime soon. Where on earth were you driving in such a hurry? You open your mouth to explain when a voice calls from inside the house. Oh, it's Stan. I also cannot do a Grunkle Stan for many reasons, but my testosterone can't get there. But, Poindexter! Poindexter! This better not be one of your experiments again. I can't. I've had this place rebuilt too many times to... The owner of the voice walks out of the house and stops slack-jawed at the side of your car in the sight of, you're guessing, his house. You must have hit your head earlier, because you could swear you're saying double. Oh, just twins. Sweet Moses, Ford, you've done it this time! Sorry. What? This had nothing to do with me. I was testing my magnet gun, and it must have pulled this victim out of circumstance into the house. I suppose it is entirely my fault. I'm incredibly sorry. Reassure him, reassure yourself, or cry. I'm gonna reassure myself. I can't believe this. My car. What's going on? Who are these men? Why did this happen to you? Everything's going to be fine. I'm gonna get through this. Hey, look. Hey, look. It's fine, alright? Sure, there's a dent in the house from the shack signage and a crack in the windshield that looks like an ominous triangle, but I'm sure she'll still run. I can't keep that up forever. You try to start up the car. It sputters, but ultimately nothing happens. You feel like crying. Oh! Well, let's call a tow truck for this unfortunate soul here and forget. I'll take care of it. You're right. It is cheaper to tow yourself. Fixer, get that magnet gun out again. No, Stanley, I'm going to fix this. What? Ha! You fix this mess? I figured out a few alien vehicles in my time. Nah, you kidding me? It takes some sort of miracle worker to bring this baby back to life, and this miracle worker is on vacation. Stanley, a moment. Ford and Stanley turn away, and you're left to your thoughts. Who can anticipate a car accident like this in the middle of a road trip? You can take care of the car, but how are you going to get home? They run buses out here, right? So you take a bus out of here, and then... Ford clears his throat, shifting a little awkwardly in place. Seems they've finished their talk. So there are a few options. My brother Stanley here could drive you out of town to find a place to stay for the night, or you could stay the night here. We have some maps and information you can look at in the gift shop, and in the morning we can help you with your car. What do you say? Just as you're about to answer, another high-pitched voice comes from inside the house. Oh, is it Mabel? Yes, Mabel. Okay, again, cannot do a Mabel, but... Grunkle Stan! Picture this! A whole week of... Oh my gosh! The girl that runs out of the house comes to a halt at the side of your car. Oh, great. Grunkle Ford? Why is it that everyone automatically thinks I'm at fault? Well, this time it is my fault. But I've invited Ty here to stay with us for the night, if they'd like. The pronouns. I'm sure I can fix this. I just have to figure out how. Stanley sighs. I can take a look. Being on vacation's pretty boring. And the old Stanmobile hasn't needed a tune-up yet, so it wouldn't be too bad to work on something in the meantime. Thank you, Stanley. I'm sure I can put something together from the gadgets I have laying around if you need any specialized tools to help you with the job. And let me introduce myself. I'm Mabel. You can ask me anything. I pretty much know everything there is to know about this place. Wait, hold on. I haven't even said anything yet. I appreciate your offer to let me stay and repair your car. Yeah, it'll be good as new in my hands. I mean, look at my Stanmobile. She's been through the ringer who knows how many times, and she's still a beaut. He points at a red car parked a distance away. You can't really see how beautiful it is at this distance, but he sounds really confident. Well, this turn of events is fortuitous or suspicious. I'm going to say fortuitous because I like Gravity Falls. Free repairs? Free lodging? There's no better deal to be found, and if things don't work out, the town probably has some sort of auto repair shop you can head to instead. Well, I accept. Thanks for the help. And my apologies again. What an embarrassment. I must have made such an elementary mistake. As the Pines lead you inside the house, Mabel leaves her number in your phone for you to call whenever, and you find out that Ford twin goes by Stan. This part's the house, but just outside that door is the mystery shack. Hey, you ever been to the mystery shack before? I wanted to, actually. I saw a bumper sticker while I was on the road and got curious. You're interrupted by a loud, triumphant, "Ha!" Those bumper stickers were a good investment, and Sixa says they're too plain and graphically simplistic, and don't even have an address on them, Stanley. How is anyone supposed to find the place to attract customers? Sixa, did you hear that? Well, they are graphically simplistic. I don't know how they found the place, let alone thought what is the mystery shack was compelling. I kind of liked it. See? They kind of liked it. Hey, I like you, Ty. I like you too, Stan. How about I give you a tour sometime tomorrow? Regular price. Tomorrow? Then I'll have to squeeze all my get-to-know-you questions in today. Ty, tell me, capybara, yes or no? At that moment, a boy passes in the hallway at the far doorway, and Ford calls out to him, "Dipper, Dipper." are, my boy. I'm surprised I didn't see you run out to the scene of the crime. We got a Dipper for this one. I can't do a Dipper voice either. You would think I'd be able to do a prepubescent boy, but I can't. Crime? What crime? I have an alibi, I swear. Oh, you have someone with you. Hey, I'm not suspicious at all. Did you guys see that car inside of the shack, though? For a second, I thought the Manitors were back with a grudge. Yes. About that, Dipper. Meet Ty. I've, stranded their car here by accident. They're staying here for the time being. Sorry, stranded their car here? You crashed it? Yeah, the Essen shack fell on it and everything, and the windows are cracked. One window, the windshield. And Ty was lucky to make it out alive. They were fine. No injuries, thankfully. The magnet gun's rather safe, despite never having been tested in a formal setting. Yeesh. Did you not, take safety precautions or anything? Actually, the irony of the situation is I was trying to install a safety precaution. Hey, if you two are gonna do your nerd talk, I'm gonna get Ty set up. Mabel, sweetie, why don't you show Ty around? Let them stay in, the storage room. That's still empty, right? I'll make it empty. The rest of the day consists of Mabel showing you the storage room you'll be staying in, then the kitchen, and the living room, and the hallway, and the bathroom, and pretty much a comprehensive tour of the mundanities of a regular house. Eventually you find out that the family is even more extended than you knew. The decorative doilies make a lot more sense knowing a grandmother normally lives here, and her grandson, Seuss. Or was it Zeus? Whatever the name, you look forward to meeting him when he comes in for work in the morning. Oh, Seuss. When you go to the attic, Mabel opens the door to reveal Dipper, nose stuck in a book, but you catch him occasionally glancing up at you as he pretends to read. The next member of the family snorts up at you from Mabel's bed, a rotund pink pig, who Mabel declares is her best friend and partner in crime, Waddles. Waddles is my favorite. The two are a perfect match, right down to the chubby cheeks and boopable noses. Boop. And in the evening, though you'd still been in disbelief of the state of your car, the family dinner and after-dinner TV marathon you'd been invited to made it seem like a normal guest stay rather than a forced circumstance. Returning to the storage room Mabel had shown you earlier, you find an air mattress waiting for you and more pillows and sheets than a summer night warrants. Ooh, I went to sleep. You wake up to the weak glare of sunlight streaming in through the small, high window in the wall. You can't remember your room having this kind of feature, or any hotel or motel room for that matter. And then, yesterday comes crashing back to you. Literally. You glance at the time to see that you've slept into the afternoon. I would never. Experiencing the accident yesterday must have left you tired out. Despite having been assured yesterday evening that you were free to anything in the fridge, you still feel like you're imposing on the Pines family, and try preparing as polite a guest breakfast as you can. That is me. You wash your dishes in the sink before you leave, and just as you're about to exit the kitchen, you bump into Ford. Oh boy. Excuse. Oh! Ah! Yes, from yesterday, of course. For a good, solid moment, Ford regards you in awkward silence. Ford clears his throat. I believe Stanley's taking a look at your car outside, if you want to be there for it. You give a nod and make to leave for real this time when Ford speaks up again. And, Ty, I'm sorry again for the accident. If I had been smarter about, well, let's just say it's entirely my fault and you shouldn't worry about this at all. When it comes down to it, Stanley does have a knack for cars. I predict you'll be back on the road in a matter of weeks. Weeks? You can't keep the dismay off your face and can't really bring yourself to try to either. What am I going to do with weeks? I know what we're gonna do. Ford, who'd gone to kind of uncomfortable and closed off when your face fell, recovers at the prospect of a question he can answer. Well, there's the town to tour, of course. And the mystery shack. But if you ask me, all that pales in comparison to... Hold on, do you hear that? Ford turns to the kitchen doorway to investigate. Sounds like... The sound comes again, and this time you hear it as well. The squeal of a pig, followed by a pair of quick footsteps running down the stairs. Waddles tumbles past the open kitchen doorway, and Mabel comes into view soon after, a few sheets of paper clutched in hand. Ford steps quickly out of the kitchen, and you follow to the doorway, getting there just in time to see the apparent tug-of-war between Mabel and her pig over a saliva-covered sheet of paper. The paper rips, and after nearly toppling backwards from her efforts, Mabel recovers, snatching the scrap of ripped paper from Waddles' jaws and lifting both pieces up victoriously. Ha ha! Mabel wins again! Now I just gotta find Grunkle Ford! Ford, who'd run forward and held out a hand to steady the energetic child when she'd been in danger of toppling over, now finds a number of crumpled sheets of paper shoved into his hands. Mabel tugs urgently at his coat. Grunkle Ford, you have got to help me! Ford kneels down to face Mabel with a serious, though concerned, look. Slow down, Mabel. What's the matter? Dipper found a stack of pages from your old journals, and I walked in, and Waddles ran up and started eating one, and he must have been chewing on it to warn me, Grunkle Ford, because look! Mabel takes the ripped halves of paper back from Ford's hand and joins them together, holding it up for Ford to see. I see. And you took it as a warning? Yes! It says here that it eats small dogs, and Waddles is a small pig, but he sort of looks like a dog from far away, and Waddles must have feared for his life. Waddles seems to second this notion with a snort, or not, as it seems the pig is lounging adorably a short distance away in the hallway. You can't imagine what this dangerous predator could be. Some kind of wolf? Something bigger? You're suddenly not so keen on staying anymore. Remember the pterodactyl I told you about? Waddles was so scared that time, I can't let him leave my side! Pterodactyl? You suppose pigs are allowed in museums around here? How about I finish that repellent I never got around to completing? That'll keep Waddles safe from harm. Mabel flops down on the floor in relief. Grunkle Ford, you're an actual lifesaver. Waddles, you have nothing to fear. Ford chuckles, lifting himself out of the kneel and standing back up. All right, I'll go get my recipe. Ford turns to leave, and you suddenly remember that with nothing better to do for the weeks you're going to be here, it wouldn't hurt you to get to know Ford. He seems to know what there is to do around town anyway, and you'll need that to not die of boredom in the first week. Or, more pressingly, you could go check on your car and see what Stan's made of it so far. You're not exactly eager to face seeing your car on the side of the house again, though. What should you do? Alright, get to know Ford or check on your car. This is basically picking if I want to know Ford or if I want to know Stan. And, like, Stan is the only real answer here. He's like, you know? If you consider, like, the whole Pines family tree thing, Mabel is kind of like the Stan of their twinship, so I like Mabel, and I like Stan. And if I had to pick one to date, I think it would have to be Stan, so I'm gonna go check on my car. After Ford leaves, Mabel rolls away with her pig towards the living room, and you head out of the house in search of Stan. The Mystery Shack should only have 4 main sides, but you feel like you've made your rounds past 5 of them before finally seeing your absolute wreck of a car. You swear it looks even worse than it did when you crashed it. Stan stands before it, hands on his hips as he looks at the large wooden S that's made its indent in the car's hood. How bad is it? Can't tell yet. Not till I get this letter off the hood. That S never did like to stay in place. Mystery hack, huh? Look, if you're gonna insult me... Oh, you were reading the sign. I'm fixing that later, alright? Just avert your eyes. Don't look at it. Offer to help him, let him do it himself. I'm gonna offer to help him because I'm gonna pretend I know anything about cars. Guess we should fix it as soon as possible then. Sounds good to me. Give me a hand here, would ya? Stan directs you to help him push the wooden S off the car. It stalls a little in its own dent, but with another firm shove, its ends meet the ground. Stan gives it another push with a grunt and it tips, falling completely to the ground with a whump. Now that it's free of its burden, Stan lifts up the dented hood of the car and takes a look inside. He hums and huzzes and rubs a hand over his chin in thought, walking over to his toolbox and grabbing a tool before walking back, still assessing the damage. Yeah, this one's gonna take a while. You've got parts that need replacing, not to mention she's not gonna look so hot after this. Not unless Ford's got the tech squirreled away somewhere that can smooth out these dents. The more he tells you of the situation, the more it all sinks in. You really are stuck here. Stan spots your worried frown. Hey, Ty, right? Because Ty, right? He doesn't know that, but we know that. Look, I know how this sounds, but with me on the job, you'll be all set and back on that road in no time. You think so? Kid, oh, that's awkward. Kid, I know so. I've even got a plan to make those replacement parts of yours. Might not be able to clean up all these scuff marks after I'm done, but she'll run. And hey, so maybe you've got to stay a couple days. So what? There are worse places to get stranded, believe me. In fact, I'd even say the Mystery Shack is the best place to get stranded. We've got all tons of stuff for people just passing through. Merchandise, magic, mystery, and any other M words. Mayhem, you get the idea. Stan tosses a tool in his hand back in the toolbox, exchanging it for another. He works for a while longer in your silence. Metallic clanks and the occasional heavy breath, all that mixes in with the sounds of the outdoors. You stand by, awkward, uncomfortable, and a little useless. Can I help with anything? Know anything about cars? No. Stan straightens, cracks his back, and sets down a tool before leaning casually against the nearest load-bearing surface. He wipes his forehead, lets his hand fall to his waist, and gives you an assessing look. How about collages? Tall tales? Improv? Yeah, I think I can handle that, but what does that have to do with this? You gesture at your stranded car, held in limbo between life and death by nothing other than Stan Pine's car expertise and a little luck. Nothing. I was planning on having you help Susan around the shack for a favor. What do you say? Well, it's more interesting than helping Ford with his pest problem. You accept. Alright, follow me. You follow Stan back into the mystery shack, passing by the showroom and getting a glimpse of an energetic figure leading a flock of tourists through a veritable sea of obviously fabricated oddities. Ooh, Seuss. You hear the words, and this is the ninth wonder of the world, right in the mystery shack. It's what makes this place world famous, dudes. Seuss. Stan notices your pace slowing as you listen and tosses an explanation back for you. That's Seuss. During operating hours, he's the mystery shack's one and only Mr. Mystery. I told him he didn't have to keep the shack running while he's on vacation, but the kid's got a passion for the role. You interested in this kind of stuff? I was thinking about going on a tour. It feels weird now that you're staying at a tourist trap, though. And you were kind of going to poke fun at the exhibits. Harder to do when you have to live around your tour guide. It's fine, really. Nah, I think I want to give you a tour of the place. You'll get one from the founder himself. You ever hear one of my plugs on the radio? You weren't really paying attention to the radio during the drive, just taking in the Oregon scenery. See the signs pointing to this place for a mile down the road? Again, you were pretty preoccupied with the Oregon scenery, but you guess you did see some signs with question marks on them. That's some vague advertising. Just seeing what works. Bumper stickers, huh? Ha! Still got one on Ford. Anyway, follow me, folks. Well, folk. Get ready to be amazed. Stan starts leading you back the way you came. You trail behind him, a little skeptical, but definitely curious. Didn't you say the founder would lead this tour? Is Seuss the founder? Stan laughs. What? No, I'm the founder. Built this place from the ground up. No, you didn't. Ford built it. You just put all the anyway, oh, there. Yeah, he literally says that after. Well, metaphorically speaking. I mean, the house was here and the junk was here, but I was the one who spun it into a wondrous house of mysterious junk. Stan gestures with his arms like he's smoothing out a rainbow. You're not very impressed. Prepare to be amazed. You're still not very impressed, but his energy gets you hoping you'll be amazed anyway. There's a tour group in the showroom right now, so I'll be taking you in a different cycle that completely misses them. We're starting in the gift shop. You enter the gift shop, a simple room crowded top to bottom with the standard tourist souvenirs and merchandise. You see t-shirts with question marks, mugs with question marks, and pretty much everything has question marks. In one corner of the room stands a lumpy attempt of a statue labeled the Founder, recognizable as Stan only by the nose and glasses. This room usually comes after I butter up the customers to buying things, but since you're staying a while, I'll have plenty of time to sell you stuff later. Take a look around. If you see an impulse buy, make it. Nothing like trusting your instincts. Founder statue? Yeah, should have asked Mabel to carve it. You gotta admit that every version of me's got a charming smile, though. Aztec calendar? I absolutely know how to read that thing, and you should buy it. Jar of eyeballs. Thought we sold this thing years ago. Ha! Nah, I forgot to put a price tag on it. It just has a $ sign on it. Stan takes a dark marker and squeezes in $9.99. Then he goes back and makes it $29.99. That jar's got a lot of eyeballs. Alright, freezer full of ice goods. Just because you're staying over does not mean you get to sneak over here for a popsicle. I get to do that, but that's because this used to be my place, and I get founder benefits. I also get founder dibs on the pineapple ice pops. T-shirt. Who doesn't love a good souvenir t-shirt? They're great for layering. And they've got the characteristic mystery shack question mark on them. What makes it a mystery shack question mark instead of just a regular question mark? You ask too many questions. Or do you? He says that last part in an exaggerated tone that betrays it as a sales pitch. This guy has no subtlety. Pyramid of mugs. You can't actually take that one out of the shack. I glued them together way back when. Secret business trick. And you're telling me because? No one will ever believe you. Then they'll try it, and the whole stack will fall to the floor. You notice the "you break it, you buy it" sign on the wall. Pine tree hat. Deborah used to wear one of those. Indeed. Zeus tells me they sold like hotcakes after Ford tossed his journals into the bottomless pit. Funny, those events have no correlation. Journals? Bottomless pit? Oh, there's so much I don't know. We'll have a chance to swing by the bottomless pit later. It's a prime spot on every tour, because the troublemakers always accidentally trip in and I get to lead the tour without them for 20 minutes. I'm kidding! Should have seen the look on your face. Employee of every month. Zeus has always been the hardest worker in the place. It was only natural to hand it over to him. And I guess we're done looking. You sure? Well, I think I hear the tour group heading out of the showroom anyway. Now, most tourists don't appreciate nature's artistic genius. By which I mean my artistic genius, because I remembered you're going to help me out today. You don't think up a money-making wonder like the Sasquatch by having a boring 9-to-5 office job. You think it up when you wonder, why hasn't anyone found the Sasquatch? Could it be that its name has been mispronounced the whole time? Anyway, just let me know when you've soaked up enough inspiration from this room, because you're going to need to use it right after. Alright, come on. You're gonna see what makes this place the Mystery Shack instead of just the Shack. We're making another attraction for the showroom. You follow Stan through the living room to the kitchen where stuffing and animal parts are strewn across the surface to your left. Stan pulls a thick needle and spool out of thread and, as an afterthought, adds a couple nails and a hammer to the pile. It seems a little unsanitary to do this right across from the fridge and has the potential to look almost gruesome if it weren't so oddly cartoonish. He steps up to the workspace and pulls out the googly eyes that have been glued over the lifeless, glassy ones typical of taxidermy. Mabel's contributions to this craft project remain firmly intact. Ha! That's what I get for letting Mabel bring her stash of scrapbook supplies. That's one more thing to add to the backstory. Backstory? What? You don't really think tourists are dumb enough to believe that the thing you're selling them is what you tell them it is just like that, do ya? Because if you do, you'll be set to do business in Gravity Falls. Anywhere else, though, customers take a little more work. See, every good piece comes with some kind of story. Or, if you're Poindexter, some kind of lore. Horror stories work pretty well, because with enough suggestions, people can always find ways to spook themselves. Done it for years. It's kind of an art. Stan appears nonchalant, but you can see a quiet pride within him. Sounds easy or sounds hard? I'm gonna say that it sounds easy. Oh yeah? Let's see you take a shot at it after we put this thing together. You've said you've done this for years. Always had a knack for it, even when I was a kid. Sure, there was a little learning curve involved, and I've had a few unhappy customers over the years. Stan pauses seemingly to reminisce, and the mixed smile grimace on his face tells you he probably had many, many unhappy customers. But mostly I've run a great business on telling lies. I mean, stories. You're learning from a true master, kid. So why don't you run this place anymore? You work like you're still part of this place. What was your original vision for the shack? Or let's get to the showpiece already. I'm gonna go with okay, here's the thing. As a Gravity Falls fan, I kind of know what his original vision for the shack was, because it was sort of an accident. I also know why he doesn't run the place anymore, because he gave it to Zeus. I'm gonna say you work like you're still part of this place. You can take a man out of the mystery shack, but you can never take the mystery out of a man. Specifically me, which is why I'm back to work even though I don't have to. 30 years of the same routine will do that to you. Oh, I get to ask all of them. Okay, well, what was your original vision for the shack? The vision? Make money. What other vision do you need? But over the years, sure, I've used the mystery line for advertising. Who isn't curious? Who doesn't want to be amazed? Kids are the most skeptical of the bunch, though, let me tell ya. Once they hit about 8 or 9, they love trying to prove it's all fake. Then they get older and realize there's nothing good left in the world unless you pretend there is, and everyone pretends along with you because they're all desperate. So why don't you run this place anymore? Stan's grin melts into something softer, maybe a little bittersweet. My brother wanted to drag me off on a trip with him. Couldn't say no, and I couldn't just close the place, so I left it all to Suits. He practically grew up in this place, you know? Definitely wouldn't have entrusted it to Wendy. Oh, what's wrong with Wendy? She's usually the cashier around here in the summer. It's weird having to explain all this to you. I keep thinking you already know all this. Maybe we do. Stan turns his attention back to the workspace, and you notice once more the daunting selection of items that lay upon the table. It's not the number, but the variety that makes you unsure of how you're going to craft something out of this. Yeah, I don't know what you're going to do with this stuff. Surprise me. Okay, I'm going to leave this here because this is already, like, way too long, and I probably should have left it earlier, but I just got really into it, so... Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Put a comment down below telling me if you want me to play more of this game, and leave a like if you do want me to play more. I think I will, regardless, but it would be nice to know if you guys actually do like this, or let me know if you hate it, and then maybe I will stop. Follow me on all my social media. Links will be in the description below. You can click over here to see my last video, or over here to see some other thing that I've made. I love you guys, subscribe and stuff, and peace out.